Hey Blake, so I just put together this Google Doc with the different energy files and morphic fields, which I mentioned over IG. So before I actually show you the files, I think it's best to kind of give you some books that will probably help you to best utilize um, all of these files and stuff to know how to best use them yourself. So first off, I would say if you haven't read this book, Karma by Sadhguru, I would highly recommend you read it because it will help you understand a lot more about like how the law of attraction kind of really works and how to really release why what's it called I created certain of the playlist the way I did, right? And then this book, Zero Limits by Joe Vitale and Dr. Hewlin. So it kind of gives I would say, an introduction into the whole Ho'oponopono technique as far as like how powerful it is, where Dr. Hewlin essentially healed a whole prison ward of like prisoners, some people psychotic and criminal, by just doing the work internally, by looking at whatever judgments he had about these people. And by doing that, he was able to heal them without ever seeing them. And then it didn't start with you. So this is going to give more background as far as I would say it's a good book as far as it doesn't go overboard in terms of like being too technical, and it gives a lot of different makes a lot of different references as to where you could get more information as far as like how certain trauma gets passed on from like grandparents to parents to children. So I would say these three books, I highly recommend you read them. It will just make using these stuff a lot more and knowing how to like do the healing a lot better internally, like just becoming that best version of yourself, because it's not really adding stuff, it's more taking away, because you're already perfect inside. It's just removing all of the blocks that got placed as far as like errors in yourself. Anyways, here's some other useful stuff. So this is a YouTube video by Bert Hellinger. So he was a psycho, I think he was a psychotherapist or something, I'm not sure, but he pioneered in the work of family constellation, so seeing the hidden dynamics in families and essentially how to fix families, like where, say for example, mother and daughter have are not speaking together, and how do you actually heal that. So his work is pretty fascinating. Dr. Hewlin, uh he's referenced in the book, but here's like an actual interview of him talking about the Ho'oponopono process he actually uses. um this is just a playlist I put together of like divine truth. So it's um basically it's this Australian dude. He says he's the reincarnation of Jesus. And as far as like the concepts I've seen and I've put into practice, they work. So um I'd say check them out. You're gonna learn a lot from it. And then the Osho library. I'm not sure if you know who Osho was, but there's a lot of good stuff you can take away from this, especially as far as like trying to understand more about like the whole chakra system and the energy body. I'd say Osho goes in a lot more detail, and just he's just a really great, I would say, philosopher as far as talking about more mystical concepts, and he's able to break them down where you have like a better understanding and you're able to apply a lot of that. So I'd say these two, as far as like, yeah, a lot of good information there. Now, as far as like the actual playlist, so I'm just gonna go in like from end to beginning. So the meditation, so this is a playlist I put together. So I put together a couple playlists you can just use yourself that I used. So these, if you're meditating, before when I used to meditate, tried, well, I did the Wim Hof method for a good while, the Tumo breathing, and yeah, I would say I got good results because like for a good while I can go outside like when it's snowing or whatever, for the most part, no jacket, can go out in shorts or whatever. So master like my body heat, but really that isn't really the whole goal of meditation. It's that awareness. So I kind of moved from the Wim Hof method, then I looked into HRV. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but it's essentially making your heart and your brain more coherent, where it's like more synchronized. Then I went to binaural beats, so I was listening a lot of theta waves and gamma waves, but it was like me trying to force it, right? And cut a long story short, I found like spirituality zone, I would say a couple months ago. And these stuff are powerful, man. So they have more advanced versions. So this is just the free version, but you can pay for like the more advanced ones. They're pretty cheap. But what I'd say, I tried most of the different frequencies as far as when I used to meditate a lot. Um, and these, I would say, if you're just want to like meditate and just go in that oneness, I would say these are the frequencies you want to listen to. Um, yeah, because how they actually work. So the guy who has this channel, so he's pretty much into like the yogic tradition, right? And he's around a lot of different monks and so when these guys are meditating, they've been meditating for like years, 40 years plus, some of them, and they're really diligent in their practice. They're not just like, oh, trying to meditate like for an hour or whatever. Like when they meditate, there's actual effects on reality. So it has like a higher energy, as far as like it has a certain energy output. So just by being in that person's field, you could naturally be meditative. So you've heard people talk about they've sat with like say like a guru or the Dalai Lama or somebody, some mystic, and they felt like this peace and calm. So it's what this guy did. He figured out the actual energy output and the sound waves and whatever. I'm not sure the actual science. Like I want to get more into it myself. Cut a long story short, he put it into sound waves where you can feel the actual energy of these actual mantras of these different yogis when they perform it. And you could just benefit from it. So versus you having to spend years of your life practicing these advanced stuff, you could just receive all the benefits. So you get the end results. So I'm telling you, if you put this in your, if you meditate for at least half an hour, you listen to this, yeah, you're gonna actually, you realize that awareness, that nowness, your present awareness is just gonna become a lot more deep. Um, then this one, so this, I think these are two morphic fields. Oh no, this one, so I listen this while I'm sleeping. So sometimes with some of these, I just use my earphones while I'm sleeping and I just listen them 24/7. So this one, it just, as it says, help you be more in tune with your spirit guides and just become more clear with your purpose. So pretty good one. This is just more of a condensed version of like processing your emotions. So um how like your emotions work. So most people, they're in a state of like denial where they're not even aware or try to deny that they have certain hurt. They've been hurt in a certain way. And in that denial, if they become triggered, they respond in anger. And below that anger, there's a fear. And below that fear is a feeling of because fear is just a false way of viewing reality. It's like you've been hurt in some way, and because you're hurt, it's like you feel sad and hurt, that you need to grieve it, you need to let it out. So essentially what I did is like, all right, I wanted like a fast way of just doing the work constantly, where I could just add it like in my daily routine. So this is like 20 minutes, all of these files. So this is like the Beyond Placebo quantum codes. These are some morphic fields relating to shame and guilt and grief. And then the whole Ho'oponopono from spirituality zone. So it just kind of like automates that whole process of like you going through the whole entire emotional process in just like 20 minutes. But if you do this at least 1 to 2 hours a day, it will help you like whatever you're going through. Um, then here is more relating to like the physical body. So as far as like the body, when I was like, I'm telling you, man, like my whole body, especially earlier in the year, was like completely wrecked. And how did I heal myself? I use sound. So I'm not sure if you ever heard of Royal Rife, but essentially figured out different sicknesses have certain frequencies attached to them, and you can use sound to heal your body. So I've tried like a whole gambit of different frequencies, and I just put together the best. So everything I'm giving you is like I've gone through trial and error trying to find like the best, and I would say these were the best. So this will detox your body. So if you want to like just add this by itself, you can just listen to like for a good hour. I'm telling you, if you do this like solidly, like clean out your body for like a good 2 to 3 weeks, because before doing this stuff, I used to like do like a lot of purges. Like there, I'm from Jamaica, so they have this herb called cerasee, so it purifies your blood. Used to drink that every week. Just more intermittent fasting, but this stuff is way more powerful. I'm not gonna hold it. Like if you just try this, results will be a lot better than like a lot of the some expensive stuff you could try to like detox your body. You'll be surprised. Some stuff on YouTube is actually better. Um, and then here, this is more just for your gut detox. So this playlist right here, waiting for it to load. So you just listen this, help get your gut. So your gut, if your gut is all messed up, you're not going to be thinking clear. So you want your gut to be in good health. And also, that's where essentially like that willpower, it sits, it's in your gut. So you want that your gut to be clear. And then this one is for posture. So I could give you like a lot of this stuff. I've everything I'm sharing with you, I've used myself and I've gotten significant results off of it. So this, before my posture, I used to have like a anterior pelvic tilt, plus like one of my hips was way higher than one. So like my left side, the hip was like this high, right side, the hip was like way lower. So it was all messed up. And like I used to use this thing called like a Styrector. So it's a splint. I used to put in my mouth, and it would correct my posture. I would say I got results off of it. And then I used to do certain exercises just trying to correct my posture. But I'm telling you, within like a good week or so, I was just listening to this, my posture just improved dramatically versus like months of doing more physical stuff. It's crazy how fast this works. And you could look into Rolfing as far as like how it works. So Rolfing essentially, where it works on the fascia, right? So your body, you have like the muscles, the bones, and the ligaments, but what actually gives your body the shape is the fascia, right? And think of that as like a web, so like a spider webs, and it holds the shape. So if you change the fascia and put it in the right alignment, eventually your body will like go into place. It's like a new suit. So that's where the Rolfing works. And then the hip flexors, is so these two will just release your hips and your hip. What I realized as far as like posture, the main part is like your neck, your hips, and like your tongue posture. So if those are all in order, you're just gonna have good posture. Um, and then as far as like more like this is like a subliminal channel, but this is one of the best I've found, especially for like your whole body. The stuff they have like on your face, like yeah, if you want to check this out, like some smaller muscles, like you probably can't get like if you work out, this will help you out. Golden subs, then sapient medicine. This is more like different body. It's more for the body again. So this one especially, they have an automated workout like for the glutes. It's really powerful. All of this stuff really powerful. This is more Morphic Fields again. And then Morpheus Fields. So mostly it really depends. So as I'd say, they have some good feels, but I mostly use them for like the physical stuff they have. Like I would say that's where I mostly try their stuff. And a couple of the emotional ones. I kind of stay away from like the stuff they have regarding more like meditation or stuff. I find these two channels, their stuff far more powerful beyond placebo and spirituality zone. Maitreya, they have some good stuff, but at the end of the day, you just have to try all of these stuff, man. Like figure out what works best for you. But when I say this stuff is like really next level, like this is where I see the future of health going. It's like healing yourself with sound and like there's this one movie, I think it's The Giver, right? And essentially this is one of my dreams, dude. So it's like you have your bed, and while you're sleeping you're being healed. So you have like a bed playing different frequencies, like healing like your energy body, your physical body. And I'd say even though I don't have like a bed like that, I kind of created that for myself. So what I do a lot of times, so like when I'm working, I have some of the Morphic Fields playing on like my laptop or like the speakers loud. Then I have my earphones in and I'm listening certain like subliminals most times during the day, mostly to correct like my body and especially like my face. So kind of, if you know about like the Mike New, so doing like newing, so I kind of created like my own subliminal slash Morphic Fields by combining like a lot to work the my jaw muscles. Like I can show you like my teeth, like before they're extremely crooked and no braces or anything, they're practically straight. And then yeah, that's what I pretty much do. So, and even while I'm sleeping, I'm doing like the work same way, processing. So it's like 24/7. So essentially, before, if you were like just trying to do like the standard just hypnosis or whatever, or regular body work, it takes months. But this just within like 1 month of just solidly doing this stuff, you'll just see dramatic improvements. But I'm going to end the video right here. I don't want to go on and on, but hopefully this video helps.